Good evening, legends. What's going on? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little video for you. We are here to discuss the latest transfer news, and there actually is transfer news for Manchester United. Get in there, my son. We're here to discuss the latest transfer news and goings on as we do with a cheeky little late night evening show, maybe even with the hope that during this next sort of hour, there perhaps may be some sort of news in regards to a confirmation of the Sesko deal. Who knows? Could be here we go tonight, could be here we go tomorrow. Could be here we go right now. So we're going to get into all the latest of it in this show, guys. Thank you for joining us. Do us a favour at the start of this one. Smash the like on it. Give us a huge like spike. You know it makes sense. Also, there's a link pinned at the top of the live chat there, which is a link to my post on X there for this show. If you fancy, you can give us a repost and that will help the stream out as well. And we'll shout you all out later on the show, everyone that gives us a repost there on X. Nice one. Yes, Agrippa, that's right, man. Smash that like button, my son. Thank you very much. And everybody who's in here, how you doing in the chat? Get involved in the chat if you're in here live. We want to hear from you. And Q&A at the end. But big up Robert Hewer, Disco Dave, TK. How you doing there, my son? Fire Knight, Gorbert, Robert Hewer, Howard Garrix, Francois Koch, Ashley Voigt, OXO, or 0x0, Lewis, Agrippa. What's going on there? TK, Disco Dave, Samaza, Sandy, AC Shadow Warrior, United History, Simon A. And everybody who's in here, big ups yourselves, guys. Thanks for joining. So let's get stuck into it then. Man United actually going in there for at least an approach, at least to find out the terms of a deal, and at least to discuss the potential of this transfer with Brighton for Carlos Baleba. You what? Get in there, my son. I mean, it does seem we are going after another player after Sesko. It seems we're going after a midfielder. Perhaps we won't be able to get Baleba. Maybe he's too much money. It seems like Brighton want a lot of money, right? But it does show us to have that the club has maybe some intentions to go and do more business this summer and have a really big summer transfer window. That shows some intention at least. So if we are going to be able to do that and get another midfielder in, maybe even a goalie too, we can all start to froth a little bit about the potential of United doing well this season, because they are going to address a lot of the problem areas in this team. We've been talking about it all summer long. We have osteoporosis of the spine. The spine at Manchester United, we're like a crooked old man walking across a zebra crossing. Takes about 20 minutes, you know, hunched over, Hunchback of Notre Dame vibes. Esmeralda, the Bills, Esmeralda. You know what I mean? That's it. We've got osteoporosis of the spine. When you've got a gash goalkeeper, sus centre-back in some ways, depending on who's playing. Not enough in midfield there to cover, you know, with the likes of Ugarte and Casemiro there. They don't have the physical, real ability to get around in that defensive midfield role for an Amarin two-in midfield system there. And then, obviously, the spine at the top there, the top of the spine. This is where the hunchback problem is, guys, right there. Gasmus Hoyland is there. He's like an osteoporotic spinal vertebrae? Yeah, let's go with that. He's a dodgy vertebrae, my friends, and that's it. When you have a dodgy spine, that's the problem. If you get a good spine, if you get a strong spine, I don't know why I'm doing this with my hand, but if you get a strong spine and you've got a good goal scorer, a solid midfield, a solid centre back setup, obviously there's 3 centre backs for us, but you know what I mean. The spine is strong, and the goalkeeper, of course. No point having a strong spine if your lower back's fucked, is there? You know what I mean? Goodness me. You're still going to struggle to get up out of your chair. So you need somebody who's got a bit more bottle about them than Andre Onana in terms of the goalkeeper as well. But there you go. This is like some sort of spinal surgery that's taken place. We talked about the surgery that needs to be had on United over the years. Ragnick said that this club needs open heart surgery. Well, turns out we also needed some spinal surgery as well, because the spine of this team's ridiculously weak. The spine now, if we could get Sesko, a new goalie, let's say Donnarumma for fun, Baleba or someone in the midfield, it would be looking a lot more strong, wouldn't it? A lot less osteoporotic, if that's even a word. You know what I mean? A lot less dodgy is what I'm saying. So I think there you go. Man United are obviously looking to do some business this summer. Even if we can't get Baleba from Brighton, it shows that we've got at least a little bit of intent this summer to spend some money and get some deals done. I agree with you. You know, the amount of money involved here for Baleba, even if it was 80 million, it's still a heck of a lot of money, isn't it? I mean, the guy is very young, so he fits into that whole thing we were talking about earlier about players who, you know, they've come into the Premier League, they've proven themselves, and they've basically auditioned in the Premier League for someone else, and they have that experience in the Premier League. So Baleba's only had a couple of seasons in the Premier League. Before that, he's playing for Lille over in France. But if we were to go and sign him from Lille, there's obviously a risk there. There's no guarantees. Now we've seen how he would do in a Premier League team and do well. So it's like that's a good player to go for, isn't it? Whereas, you know, someone like Sesko, don't get me wrong, I'm happy about the Sesko deal, but that deal is like he's still a bit less proven, isn't he? Whereas this time, you've already had that Premier League audition, which I like it. I like the idea of us going to get Premier League players. I do. Gungshi, you hero, what's going on, lad? What time is it over there? Great to see you, Gungshi. Thank you for joining aboard the Bacon Express late night here. Choo-choo. Smash that like, my friend. Oh, yes. Stephen Shipman, I hope you're good as well, bringing those booms. Osteoporotic is my middle name, baby. Right, okay, there you go then. So you know what I'm talking about here. You know, dodgy spine. At the moment, we've been walking around on crutches and having to be pushed around in a chair because of our spinal issues. But Man United now, if we do have that spinal surgery with getting a striker, getting a goalie, getting a midfielder, we should be a lot better going into next season. We really should. So let's talk about it. Let's discuss the latest updates then. So this is from Ornstein, a few hours ago, who says this. He drops a cheeky little Ornstein bomber. Oh, watch yourselves. It says this: Man United contact Brighton via intermediaries to explore conditions of deal for Carlos Baleba. Brighton do not plan to sell this summer, and all sides aware move may be unrealistic. But Man United are keen and should know in coming days if it's plausible or not. So, as we've discussed, it seems like Brighton would want a heck of a lot of money for this guy. This guy obviously played a key role in their team last season. I've just got the stats up here. He played 34 times in the Premier League for them. Got 3 goals, 1 assist. But obviously he's playing that defensive midfield role, you know. So he's obviously an athletic ball winner and all that sort of stuff. The season before that, he's played 27 times for Brighton. So this is in the Premier League. So this is obviously a key player for them. And he's only 21. He's only 21, guys, which is obviously very young, very moldable still huge potential. You know, you talk about someone that has potential to be like a Kante type player in the future for us, you know? Someone like that. This is big potential. And right now he can do the job for us. So, you know, it would be exciting if we could get him in. I really don't think it's realistic based on the price tags that are being bandied around, 80 to 100 million, that sort of figure. Brighton reluctant to sell. They wouldn't want to sell. Brighton are just amazing, aren't they, as a football club? The way that they run their football club, it's an example to be set and followed by other teams. They're able to just get these fantastic players and pluck them out of obscurity, develop them, and then sell them for big money or keep them and have a great player. Like Brighton's hit rate is so much better than Man United's or most other teams, to be fair. Brighton really do produce good talents, don't they? And they recruit great young talents. This is another example, you know, of a player they've plucked out of relative obscurity coming from Lille, and now he's worth 100 mil, you know? So you've got to just credit Brighton. They're actually pretty amazing, to be fair. But it's not going to help us because Brighton are in a very strong situation now. They are an established mid-table Premier League side, I guess you call them, established there. They play good stuff, you know, modern stadium, all that sort of thing. They're not a bad football club at all to play for. And, yeah, okay, if Man United come a knocking, if you're Carlos Baleba, surely you've got to give it some serious consideration. And maybe this is just to sort of unsettle Baleba at the football club, because Man United realistically can't afford maybe what Brighton are asking for. But if they unsettle the player, you know, it's a little seed planted maybe for next summer. Yeah, well, fair enough. Then Brighton not easy to deal with. They certainly get big money for their players. Yeah, exactly. The guy that broke the Baleba news before Ornstein's claiming Brighton want 100 million. Well, I think you're probably spot on, OXO there, lad. I don't know about maybe 100 million, but that's obviously their starting point. I'm sure they take 80 for the guy. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure they take 80. But that's what Ornstein said, and then Fab also just basically confirmed it as well and said that United approached Carlos Baleba's camp this week to be informed on the player's situation. Brighton plan to keep Baleba at the club as price tag would be very high. seen as a difficult deal. Man United plan to try get new midfielder after Sesko deal this summer. So that is our intention. If we've approached Brighton or approached Carlos Baleba's camp this week and we know roughly sort of the money's involved, then we know we've got a lot more money still left to chuck around this window. We probably won't get Baleba. But if we can't get Baleba, then why even go in and have a conversation about it? Surely there's some intent there from us, but you know, at least to find the conditions of the deal to see if there's anything that could be done. Maybe they take 80 million over 4 years, and then Man United see the value in going to do the deal. So it might happen, but reality is it probably is a bit too much. But it doesn't matter. We're actually trying and going and approaching teams, unless this is just some PR spin guff from Man United to appease the fan base. It seems like this means we've got intentions to sign a midfielder this summer. Thank you, Stevie77, for subscribing to the channel there, my son. Let's go, Stevie. Nice one for hitting that subscribe button. Yes, if you're new like Stevie, feel free to get yourself subscribed to the channel and involved here. Legends. Yes, Brighton sells their players and still reloads. Well, they're able to actually recruit good players, it seems. Taya, what's going on, you legend? Pig, it's not the club engagement with Brighton, it's intermediaries. Ornstein said that in his post. Yes, he did. Yeah, we've already read that out, mate. But you know what I mean. Okay, via intermediaries then. Calm yourself. I don't actually think Amarim's round there having a conversation with their fucking higher-ups, lad. You know what I mean? Obviously, whatever contact has been made, it may be through intermediaries, but it still shows you a serious sign of intent from Manchester United then, doesn't it? In order to just fresh out a deal, potentially find the terms of a deal. If it's not possible, obviously they'll move on. But surely that indicates we are trying to sign our midfielder this summer. Yes, Beats Guy. I mean, that would be something else, wouldn't it? A couple of really great young players for the future that are going to get better and better. That actually would be amazing if we could get both of those guys in. I can't see it happening because they're talking about spending the best part of, I don't know, £180 million to get both of those two in. And considering we've already spent 130 on Kunin and Buemo, I just can't see us doing it. But we still do have players to sell to recoup money, so you never know. Would be something special if we could get that, though. Hello there, Oki. What's going on, mate? Welcome aboard. Well, that's an interesting shout. I don't know if they want any of our players. They probably would not, actually, Showcat, but possibly, lad, possibly. Okay, so, you know, that looks good, guys. Man United exploring the Baleba deal. We've said there, Ornstein said that we've obviously made contact via intermediaries to explore the conditions of a deal. It probably will be too much, as we've heard from Fab here as well. The Brighton plan is to keep him. It's to keep Baleba. And also the price tag would be very, very high because he's a 21-year-old player with huge, huge potential. So it's seen as a difficult deal. That's what Fab says. But he also says the United plan to try and get a new midfielder this summer. And if we've got the money involved to buy Baleba, then we've got the money involved to buy, I don't know, another top-quality midfielder there, don't we? So, so it's positive. I just feel good that United are actually doing something for a change. Sesko deal's imminently about to be done, it seems. Just waiting on finalisations of that, really, also final confirmation. And then also now we're looking at a midfielder, and hopefully we can get a goalkeeper in, because as I've said, if you are going to give us spinal surgery this summer, there's no point having, you know, a dodgy vertebrae in your lower back still that's going to have you flopping over on the floor every two minutes. You still need to get a new goalie. But this will be a great start. Baleba, Sesko, this will be an absolutely fantastic start. He's worth 70 million max. Interesting, Josh Lee. Okay, well, what do you think is the figure that we should be looking to pay for Baleba? Get your thoughts and opinions in there. Get your thoughts and opinions in. What's the maximum you think we should be spending? So I think you're not far off. I'd probably say, for my own opinion, maybe 65 million. I mean, I know this guy has big, big potential, but come on. Are you serious? They were like, 80 to 100 million. That's crazy. I mean, I guess 70 to 80 million is kind of reasonable with this guy and the fact that he's played the last couple of seasons in the Premier League. He's only 21, right? So, like, his levels are very high for a player his age. It would be a very good signing for the future, for like the long term. Shows some serious intent. So it's an investment. So it wouldn't be a cheap deal. We wouldn't probably get him for 65 million. I'm just saying that in a normal market, or not a normal market, that's not normal. But you know what I mean? In a it seems this summer there's just crazy fees being played. We're talking about Isaac for 150 million, Wirtz for 117. So maybe it's not outlandish for Brighton to ask for 80 to 100 million. 100 million, says Indy. 80, says JK. 70. 100 million, money well spent. A fair play to him. Well, if it's over a few years as well, we might not even feel it that much right now, and it enables us to still sign a new goalkeeper and really strengthen the team. I'm all about that life, G2, Dad. Just spend the money, mate. It's not my money. It's not your money. Probably not the Glazer shithouse money, unfortunately. It's obviously the club's money that we've generated through our own avenues, the fans, commercial revenue, all that sort of stuff. But they need to spend as much as they possibly can right now. Let's face it, it'd probably be putting some on the old credit facility. You know what I mean? Let's be honest with the owners. But still, we need to get this team sorted out, man. There's some glaring issues in the team. Look at that performance the other day against Everton. Oh, Manuel Puchate was having a shatter all over that midfield in the game. Yeah, he works hard, but yeah, I don't know. He just was overcommitting and underperforming. It didn't really work out for him in that game, and he is a concern. Same goes for old man Casemiro. Old man Casemiro has to wake up in the morning and take 14 different medications, bless him. No, I'm only joking. I shouldn't joke around about that, really. I'll be on my way soon. No, I shouldn't joke around about that. But he does walk with a cane, guys, from training to the canteen. It's a known fact. He walks with a cane. This man is old, guys. He's, he has to have Just for Men Grey on tap in the dressing room. Otherwise, he looks like he's about 70. So, obviously, he's getting on a little bit, Cassie. But he can still do a decent job. But he's not mobile enough to play that role that we need of a midfield destroyer, really, in Manchester United's team with this Amorim system right now. Think about Bruno Fernandes. He's probably going to be the man that's doing the business for us at 8, but we need a proper number 6. This is where someone like Baleba's going to come in. 85 mil. Yeah, nice. 105 million. But he's a 60 million pound player. Baleba's worth more than Sesko, Pig. Interesting. I don't know if he's worth more than Sesko. Obviously, strikers are generally worth a bit more as well. But right now, his value does seem to be higher than Sesko. So you're right. 70 max, 100 million, no way. 90 million, 80 million. Yeah, 70 plus 10 depending on add-ons. That sounds beautiful to me, Stephen. What a figure. That's it. That's nothing wrong with that. That's a cracking offer, lad. If that happened, I could see it. I could see it going ahead. That's huge money. 75 max, 70 to 75, 85, 85. Kimster, how are you getting on there, Kim? Thank you so much for that. Yeah, do us a favor if you're just joining the stream then. Do what Kim says there. Give us a like, Spike. Hit that thumbs up button. Dunker. Hang on a second. G-Wolf United, what's going on? Oh! Wow, if we can get Donnarumma, Sesko and Baleba in this window with the other 3, damn 10 out of 19 window in my book. Bit harsh, G-Wolf. I'd say probably 10 out of 10. Yeah, no, lovely. I love that. Cobby and Baleba could make for a good partnership. Ooh, long term, definitely. Those guys are so young. You would be thinking that long term those guys would be playing for the club for many years. So that's very true because let's face it, Bruno Fernandes at his age, he's only going to be here I think we'll probably sell him next season. That's the most likely thing that happens with Bruno. He stays here for another year, plays the World Cup, obviously, with Portugal, and then we probably sell him and he gets a big, fat, juicy money move somewhere while he still can. That probably is what happens with Bruno. So we've probably got one season with Bruno Fernandes now. And then beyond that, we're going to have to look to really the next generation, which will be where players like Kobbie Mainoo and potentially Baleba and Collier and all those sorts of guys are going to be taking us forward as a football club, at least right now. Good shout. Thank you, Chippy, you legend. 20 million, 45 plus 10. Yeah, well, I mean, Brighton are in a strong position there. They just simply won't sell him for anything less than what they value him at, which apparently is 80 to 100 million. There you go. Jose Ramirez says United are thinking 70, but Brighton want 90 plus 10. Slap the 100 millions on the table. We are paying Premiership prices. Sorry to repeat myself. True, there is always a little bit of a Premier League premium, but I mean, no players are cheap at the moment, are they? Look at Wirtz coming to Liverpool, and look at obviously Sesko as well. 90 plus 10 in add-ons. Get the deal done ASAP. Please, United. He is going to be a beast. I agree with you. I think he would be a sound investment. He does really seem like a great player. He's already proven in the Prem for a couple of years, and he's young. And he would be a great signing for us long-term that's only going to go one way, really. So I agree with you, mate. I think it would be a cracking bit of business by Man United. Let's hope that we can get it done. Let's hope that this is actually some strong basis for this. We seemingly have approached them at the moment, and we're just sort of finding out whether or not there's any real basis for a deal here. Are Brighton even going to entertain a structured deal, which is maybe what we have to do here? Perhaps not. Maybe we can just slap down 80 million on the table, but will they entertain a structured deal over a few seasons, kind of like Wolves and Brentford have done? Or do they want the money right now? Do they want too much money? there's lots of factors here. So it's got a lot to go there. There's a lot of a way to go here in this particular deal, and it may just fall out before it's even started. But right now, it does seem like United are exploring at least the potential to sign Carlos Baleba from Brighton, which would just really solve a lot of our problems in that midfield for many years to come. So I'm all for it. Hopefully we can see some movement in the next couple of days. And, as we've said, it's kind of an unrealistic transfer at the moment. Both Ornstein and Fab both saying that all sides are aware the move may be unrealistic, and it may well be just too much money involved. Plus, they've got themselves a great player there, and we know that Brighton, they're a good club when it comes to selling players. They really are. They do well in that sense. They get good money for their players. They do recruit very well and develop these players brilliantly, and they can sell them for good money. So, unless they get what they want, they're in no rush at all to sell him. They're not bent over a barrel. They're actually a good side at the moment in the Prem, so they've got their ability to keep hold of players. Solskjaer99, yes, lad, he says, that's mad money for a bloke I heard about tonight, part of my apparent arrogance. You talk about Baleba, yeah? How's that then? Yeah, fair enough. I mean, if you don't watch other teams in the Prem or whatever, then I'm guessing you're not really going to know who he is, mate. But he has obviously been doing good over there for a good period of time. 2 seasons, lad. Can't imagine Brighton selling him for less than 80 to 90 million or more. I'm with you there, boss. Yeah, they're probably looking for at least that, aren't they? There's big potential for this man. He's a very good player for them already. Big player for them. He played 34 times for them in the Prem last season. That kind of tells you everything. And he's a young guy still. Tommy says the captain of the Palestinian national team was shot and killed today while queuing for food at an airdrop in Gaza. Nothing on social media. Oh, my God, really? That is awful, mate. Let's get some bloody love hearts in there. That sounds awful, mate. Shit the bed. Fucking hell. Yeah, well, the mainstream media only puts out what they want you to read, don't they, lad? No, I didn't yet, James. No, I haven't yet, mate. No, let's hunt down Lily Gamer. No, I'm joking, but 30 out of 10 in my book. Love that. Supreme Leader says, Piggy, this Baleba talk is just a joke. Well, is it? I mean, obviously, we've approached them through intermediaries, at least there. And obviously Carlos Baleba's camp. So, look, Ornstein says we contacted Brighton through intermediaries, and Fab says that we've contacted and approached Carlos Baleba's camp. So, it's obviously putting the feelers out there, seeing if there's the interest, seeing if it's even possible to get a deal done. It's probably too much money, but if they were prepared to structure a deal like we've discussed, maybe it could be on the card. Look, we should at least be trying it. I think most of us would be buzzing if we signed Baleba, because he does seem a very good talent for many years to come, and he's already shown some abilities in the Premier League, and he's young and mobile and a ball winner and all the rest of the things that we need. So, it would be a good pickup, guys. Let's hope we can do it, but I agree it's probably got like a 2% chance at the moment, isn't it? Or maybe 5%. It's quite unlikely. The money's involved, Brighton's willingness to sell, and we still haven't obviously got that Sesko deal finished and done yet. Let's just get onto that very quickly before we carry on with the show. I'll see quickly if there's any updates that have come out while I've been spieling here to see if, any updates on Sesko or Baleba or anything here from the top journos. Doesn't look like it since before we start the show there, no. Okay, no worries. We'll check that again in a little bit. But let's move on to the Sesko sort of stuff. So Sesko, we're just again waiting for more confirmation, more information here of a potential done deal. So Fab said earlier on that the Benjamin Sesko had reached a total agreement with Manchester United on personal terms, contract until June 2030. Sesko wants to join United. Clear feeling revealed yesterday here, never gave similar indication to other clubs. Club-to-club talks with RB Leipzig continue. So we're closing in on a deal for Sesko right now. Just seems maybe the fee package, add-ons, whatever, trying to get that all finalised. You know how they do in terms of the structure of the deal. And then, obviously if there's no issues there in terms of the club-to-club negotiations, the player wants to come. So surely it will be a done deal. Here we go situation pretty soon. You would like to think. But there is no deal yet. We heard, obviously, from Florian earlier on today that United improved their offer and currently proposing around 80 million euros plus as a fixed fee and add-ons. So he improved it to match Newcastle's, essentially. But there is still no agreement at the moment. But that could have changed, in the last few minutes. Who knows? But it's not that far away, this one. Oh, yes, buzzing. My loins would spontaneously combust. Oh, dear. Well, let's hope that doesn't happen then. You know what I mean, Gunks? That would be no fun, would it? Tommy says, Baleba value apparently 70 million, but his Cameroon is so he'd be unavailable during African Cup of Nations. Yeah, well, that is a bit of a worry. But if we've got Andre Onana going out, then Baleba and Mbeumo, who else would be going off to the Africa Cup of Nations? So we've got Mbeumo, Baleba. Is that pretty much it? I mean, it's not terrible, is it? It's not ideal. It's absolutely not ideal if they're going to be out for the whole of Jan. Definitely not. But at the same time, you know, you got to look over it. Oh, yeah, Ahmad Diallo, of course, for Ivory Coast. Yeah. Well, there is a good few players then that we'd be left out without. It is a little bit of a concern, yeah, fair enough. In the giant spider web and surviving. Thank you so much for the hippopotamus. Doing that, lad. Thank you for the hippo super sticker there, lad. Get some love in there for in the giant spider web. Come on. Watch yourself in there, lad. Yeah, I know. Great shout there, Disco Dave. We've mashed everything up there. We've had a knock-on effect maybe for the Scousers. We've also shat on Newcastle's parade there of maybe getting Sesko. Yeah, Ahmad as well. Onana, but that's a good thing. So true. Well, hopefully this mount won't be here for much longer. I know James Scotty McTominay nominated for a Ballon d'Or. What? That's awesome, isn't it? Good on him. Good on him. But also, what? Literally, last year he's like a squad player at United, and now he's been nominated for Ballon d'Ors and winning Serie A. Fair play to him. United's a problem. You know, United's definitely a problem, mate. That's crazy, isn't it? Big love to Scotty McTominay. That is awesome. That is awesome. Shame he couldn't do that for us, though. Scott McTominay nominated for a Ballon d'Or is insane, though. Geordies are fuming. Yeah, you know it. The Geordies are not happy at this situation, mate. We're stealing Sesko from them. They've also got a striker in Isak, who's basically one of the best strikers in the world right now. And he doesn't want to play for them. You know, if they can't sell him as well, what's going to happen? They're just going to have some one-away melt on their hands there. It's going to be absolutely horrendous. Pretty funny, really. Right, let's have a look at all the rest of the stuff as well. We're just going to get raw into a chat tonight as well, guys, you know, because I talked until I was blue in the face about Sesko earlier, and we're just awaiting more news. But at the moment, situation much the same. We're just waiting confirmation, really. It's expected that he's interested in joining United much more so than Newcastle. United as a club has the understanding that he wants to join us. Really, Gunksy Pig, remember you and Henry Wattsborough used to jokingly call him future Ballon d'Or nominee McTominay? Oh, God. Well, there you go. Bit of foreshadowing there, you know. They call me Mystic Pig because I predict these things. Oh, that's crazy. I do remember that, actually. Yeah. Future Ballon d'Or nominee McTominay. Well, you know, throw enough shite at the wall. Sometimes you get it right, lad. Oh. Hey, mate, that's awesome, Jose Ramirez. Ornstein credited Indicator for breaking news. He's been spot on this summer. He's posted an update on Baleba not long ago. Okay, thank you. Let me go and take a little look, see if I can find something you're on about here, lad. See what's going in. Indicator news, I see. Oh, stop. Stop it. Stop buzzing. Sorry, I've got a buzzing wire here, guys. Stop it. Stop that. There you go. Okay, yes, half an hour ago, they reported that Brighton want 90 plus 10 million add-ons for Carlos Baleba. Man United is looking at him with a valuation of around 70 million total. Now the main part, Baleba himself is reportedly planning to step in and ask Brighton to lower that asking price. It's a bold move, but will they actually? If he can convince them, it could change the whole saga. Wow, thank you for telling me to go look at that, mate. That is actually pretty cool, yeah. And if that's who David Ornstein is using as, you know, one of his trusted sources, then that's a positive update as well. The fact that he's now reporting that Baleba himself is reportedly planning to step in and ask Brighton to lower the asking price. Who knows? So he could force a move away for a little bit less than what Brighton are looking for. He confirms that United would be looking to pay around £70 million total for the valuation of this guy. And he also says that Brighton want around 90 to 100 million, basically 90 plus 10 for Carlos Baleba, which is insane cash. So that's awesome, mate. Thank you for that. Thank you very much for that, lad. Appreciate that update there. Interesting. Very interesting. Good evening there, Links Red. What's going on? What's happening there? Right, we're going to get stuck in... Yes, Mystic Pig indeed. We're going to get just stuck into the live chat now, folks. If anything breaks during this show, we'll bring it to you live. But for now, we're just going to have a chat for a bit, aren't we? Oh, yeah, you know, it makes sense. Right, let's do this. Okay, smash the likes if you're just getting in the stream. That'll help. Smash the subscribe button if you're new. How many subscribers are we on? Nice, guys. 91,818. Less than 200 away from 92. Brilliant. Okay, I'm going to shout everyone out that's reposted us as well on X. Thank you to you legends here. Pinned at the top of the live chat. Let's go give you a big shout out. 10 legends have reposted the show. Shout out to Aaron, Ryan Neeson, Griffin, Larry Hasser, Francois Koch, Kieran, Ashley Vogt, The Stylebender, and J United. Thank you so much there, you Dons and Donesses. Very much indeed there for sharing the show around. You are indeed what we call in the industry a set of legends. Right, thanks for that, guys. Let's get stuck into the show then, and also into the chat, and also see if anything breaks during the rest of the show there. Hey, great moderating there, guys. Yeah, no politics in here, guys. You know, we ain't got time for that. We're here to get away from all those problems in the world. Ian Navarro, cheers very much there indeed for the super chat, Ian. He says, but Baleba would be incredible, but Ornstein says that we have to sell to buy. If we can't move Cassie on, then who would we move on? Not Mainu, in my opinion. Oh, no, not Mainu. Shouldn't be Mainu. We know we're not selling Bruno as well. He's staying for at least another year. We'll probably sell him in a year's time. I don't really feel like we need to sell a midfielder necessarily, other than maybe Mason Mount. If we could sell Mount, brilliant, but because we don't need him. We really don't need him. Like, we've got lots of number 10s there. I know he scored that goal the other day, but we don't really need Mason Mount, in my opinion anyway. We've got players who can play in those 10 roles, and, you know, we need a number 6, basically. He's not that. He's definitely not that. So he could go. But other than that, I don't really feel like we even need to sell a midfielder, really. If we're going to sign Baleba, you know, Cassie's going to be leaving in a year. His contract finishes in a year's time, I believe. So he'll be leaving in a year's time for nothing, sadly. And then this guy would obviously be a long-term player for us, along with Mainu. And even Bruno Fernandes may be leaving in a year's time. Like, Bruno may be playing in that midfield 2 a lot for us this season as an 8. He will maybe leaving us this time next year. So I think that will happen once the World Cup is out the way. That's the last chance, really, for United to cash in any capacity. Look, we probably won't get 100 million for him, but we might get 60 or 70 from Saudi or somewhere like that. You know, that is possible still. He's still going to be a great player in a year's time, and he'll still have a few years at the top for there, especially over there. So if he wanted to go over there for a big money move, it'll probably still be on the table in a year's time. United would be able to get a huge money move, transfer sale away for Bruno, so he might be going. Cassie be leaving. The future is going to be the likes of Mainu, Collier, Ugarte, I suppose, if he actually has a good season, because it's kind of the crunch time for him this season. If he can't keep the consistent levels up and do the job for us, then he'll probably be out the door next season as well. So Ugarte is a question mark at the moment, but Cassie and Bruno, their time is really limited at this football club, in all fairness. That's not exactly... I mean, I guess Bruno could stay beyond next summer, but I expect us to probably look to move him on next summer to get some cash back for him and hope that the next generation of players is ready to take over, such as the likes of Mainu, and if we got somebody like Baleba. But I would not want to sell Mainu, no. Out of all the players we can sell to maybe buy, if we do have to do that, which I don't think we even do. Look at this Sesko situation. We didn't think we had the money available there, but we are doing this deal. We still have players to sell and move on and recoup money. We have already saved a bit of money as well from essentially, you know, players who other teams have sold this summer as well. You know, we've got some money, I think 21 million back from players like Alvaro Fernandez being sold on, and, you know, Alanga and other sorts of bits and bobs. So we've got some money back there. It's not a lot. We still need to sell Garnacho. He's the big one for 50 or 60 million pounds. You know, we talked about the teams that are linked with him. So teams like Chelsea, Aston Villa, Tottenham all hold an interest in Garnacho. But again, nobody's actually bid for the guy. They're probably waiting until, if they are going to bid for him, if they do want an egomaniacal little melt like him, then they're probably going to wait until the last part of the window so that they can, you know, get him for a slightly better deal, because United will be desperate to get him gone, won't they? At that stage, if they still have him at the end of the window, they'll be desperate to get him gone, because otherwise they're going to what are they going to have to do? Loan him out somewhere. It's not ideal. Just loan him for a season. Not ideal when we need cash back, you know. So they probably have to sell him for a little bit cheaper. So the other club's probably quite content to wait on that deal there for Garnacho to see if they can get a cut price deal last day of the summer window. If not, you know, I guess we are going to have to loan this melt out. It's not ideal. So he's one of the players that has a lot of the saleability and a lot of the amount of money we can actually put into the coffers because he's worth 50 or 60 million. Sancho, few million quid. We'll probably have to pay someone else to take him off of our hands because he's proper gash. And then who else is there we can really sell? I mean, I guess we could sell Andre Onana if we did sign a new goalkeeper and Andre's been told, hey mate, you're no longer the number one. Sorry, your hand is made of marmalade. It's time to go and hang out with Paddington Bear. You know what I mean? Like if he was told that, then he might want to leave. You know, at the moment he perhaps wants to stay and fight for his place and be the number one. That's because he is the number one at the moment. He has been told he's the number one. Last season, season before, he's the number one. We signed him for 50 million. He's on big money. He's the number one. So he doesn't want to go anywhere, does he? You know, whereas if there's a new number one that comes in, i.e. Donnarumma, let's just use him as an example. It's very unlikely. Probably won't happen. He'll sign a new deal at PSG. But if it does, or a new goalkeeper who's actually playing the number one role for us, then surely Andre Onana is going to realise that if he wants to play, if he wants to actually get out there and play weekly, he's going to have to move on. So he could be sold. We talked about Rasmus Højlund. Rasmus Højlund's worth potentially 30 million, 35 million, 40 million, who knows. Maybe even to a team like RB Leipzig to replace the likes of Benjamin Sesko going out, or a team in Italy. So he can recoup a bit of cash. But beyond that, there's just not really that much going on, is there, for us to be able to sell players and recoup money, especially like players who are not even that realistic to sell. Like nobody's signing Mason Mount off you for 20 or 30 million. I can't see it happening. No way. He's on 200 grand a week as well. Never. So it's going to be difficult, guys. Nobody's buying Luke Shaw. You know what I mean? Nobody's purchasing Luke. That's it. So we're kind of stuck with a couple of them, but some of them like I just said Solskjaer then. No, so some of them like Sancho, Garnacho, Højlund, Anthony Dos Santos. I guess they're all still saleable, aren't they? And could generate some cash for us. Mate, big ups. Thank you so much there for your super chat. I appreciate you, legend. Yes. Oh, we've got a new member of the channel, lad. It's ES Clad. Thank you so much there, ES Clad. Is that supposed to be Escalade, is it? G-Wolf's just blown my mind. G-Wolf says, welcome, Escalade. Is it Escalade? Maybe it is Escalade, mate. I've always just called him ES Clad. But now you mention it, it could be Escape Lad as well. Like the escape button on your keyboard, mate. ES Clad, mate. You've blown my fragile little mind there. Thank you so much, ES Clad, for becoming a member. No escape, lad. Right. I don't know. The fact United are focusing on a midfielder now shows we're stuck with Onana. I don't know, maybe Disco Dave, but I was actually thinking the fact we were signing Sesko for 80 or 90 million euros, whatever, I thought that meant we were not getting a midfielder. So I don't know, anymore. Maybe we are going to go and get a goalie and a midfielder and a striker this summer, and that's exactly what we need, and maybe we're actually going to go and get it. I am concerned that we're not going to get a new goalie, but we still might, because I didn't think there'd be any possibility of us putting the cuff or the feelers out there to sign maybe someone like Baleba. But why even have the conversation? Why make the approach if you're not at least somewhat serious about signing a player for that amount of money? So maybe they do have the amount of money there to put together a proper full team of new players that we need this summer. Yeah, World Cup year players crapping it. Malacia as well. Well, yes, I guess we could include Malacia, but he's going to get you about £2.50, isn't he? To be fair, Ruben Amorim's just going to take Malacia into his local fish and chip shop and swap him for a portion of large chips and a jumbo battered sausage, mate. You know what I mean? So that's how we're going to get rid of Malacia. And actually, that wouldn't be a bad deal, because have you seen the bloody price of fish and chips these days, guys? Goodness me, nothing's cheap anymore, is it? Piss take. Manchester is blue. Thank you so much there. You what? It's not, though, is it? Doesn't matter you're going down this season. It's YOU apostrophe RE, you bloody illiterate fuckbag. Yeah? You're a disgrace to your team. Okay? Which is saying something, mate. That's really saying something. Thank you so much for your super chat. We're not going down this season. You're going down next season when you finally get found out of your indiscrepancies there in the whole financial fair play debacle over the years, and you're outright cheating. You are the Lance Armstrong of the football world, and we all fucking know it, mate. And at some point, you're going to get those Tour de France titles taken off of you like Big Lance did. Yeah? Anyway, exactly. Manchester is red. If anything, one tiny little corner of Manchester's tinged purple slightly. They're going to have to win a heck of a lot more trophies first before it would turn out to be blue. You know what I mean? Thank you so much, Orlando. He says, let's get to 100k subs by Christmas. Thank you. Well, if you know someone who may want to be interested in this channel or may want to subscribe to the channel, tell them about it. Tell your granny about it. She will love it, mate. Yeah, City will never be as big as United, no matter how many leagues they win. I'm with you as well, Ryan, lad. United's just a huge football club. Rich history, rich tradition, rich fan base around the world, huge global support, you know. As you said before, Sesko is a monster. Love it, G. Lewis. I do. Yeah, it certainly looks like a great young talent. I mean, okay, we've gone on about it's a risk. It is a risk. It's a lot of money. He's not got the Premier League proven experience, but he does look really good. His stats are good. He's good in the air, but his stats are not insane. You know, they're not insane. They're not undeniable, which is a concern. But we're obviously playing the long game with a project here for Sesko. We're hoping he can do the business now for us. And we need him to. But so it is a bit of a gamble, but they're obviously looking to develop him into one of the best strikers in the world over the next few years, which is what can happen with someone like Amorim. If you look at Gyökeres over at Sporting, Gyökeres was doing jack all before Amorim got his hands on him. You know, and now look at him. Now he's going for big, big money to Arsenal. He's deemed as one of the best striker talents in Europe at the moment. So you got to say, if we can get Amorim working well, doing well at this football club, and a great talent like Sesko, who's young and hungry, to come in, it could really, really do the business for us for many years to come. So it's a bit of a gamble, but I guess it's a educated gamble. You sell them £1 a big bag at the Old Trafford every game. Go on, Chippy, that's awesome. £1 for a big bag. You what? That doesn't sound right, mate. 2 keepers, 1 midfielder, striker, fish and chips, 50 quid at Harrods. Oh, my God. Hello, Sharik. Long time pig. I look forward to you losing your shit over Onana next season. Makes me smile when Villa are probably losing. Sharik, much love to you, man. You know, well, hopefully Andre Onana's not going to be here next season. Still think we've got better options in the team, whether it be Heaton or even I would rather Bayender at this stage. You know, I'd rather the devil we don't know in this scenario than the devil that we do. Ineos fire a lot of people, so they're spending the money they save. United sells more alarm clocks than City does tickets. Anthony in the £1 freezer at Iceland. Oh, my God. Yeah, James, if you were Eddie Howe, you would sign Sesko strike partner, the Belgian forward, Openda. Yeah, fair enough, as a replacement for Isak, and sign Visser for the bench because they will not have a striker for their first game. Very interesting, isn't it, what's going on over there at Newcastle? Eddie Howe must be absolutely shitting a brick, man. Goodness me, can you imagine how pissed off the Geordies must be? They were sort of looking like quite nice going into the season, really. You know, with they signed Elanga, there's a bit of business being done, there was some positivity around the place. All of a sudden, what's that? Isak wants to get to fuck. Isak wants out the tune, you know? Straight away, that's taken them by surprise, hasn't it? And then especially as he didn't even do it right at the start of the window. This has happened mid-summer window, you know? He's had his head turned by the likes of Liverpool. And that's happened, and now they're struggling. Now they don't know their arse from their elbow. They don't know who they're scratching around for. Yes, they've had conversations with the likes of Visser and Sesko. They might not be able to get either of those players. What do? It's awesome, isn't it? I know, and there's Man United supposedly finished and done, finishing 15th. And yet we're going ahead and signing players like Mbeumo and Cunha and potentially Sesko here, and obviously maybe even Baleba. It's quite unbelievable. I mean, Fab said something yesterday, which I'll just reiterate here. He said, never underestimate Manchester United, because we are a huge global, massive football club and a huge brand, and there is still a lot of appeal to play for Man United. Even if we are in a period of time where we're struggling, you can still see an opportunity there if you're a player to go in and maybe turn things around over the course of a couple of years to getting United back to where we need to be, which is challenging for titles and trophies and everything. So there's still big potential here at this sleeping giant of a football club. Come on, United. Yeah, they literally, hey, Urbano, what's going on? They literally only have like 3 fans. That's it, isn't it? Exactly. There's 2 big clubs, Real and United. Yeah, fair enough. Real, United, Barcelona. You know, you could say teams like AC Milan, Inter Milan, Juventus. Those teams are all big brands, big teams. You know, Bayern Munich. But beyond that, you know, there's only you know, a few elite clubs. That's true. And I do believe Man United is still one of those. Not in terms of our football abilities, but in terms of the size and the support of our club. Yesterday you were 15th, doesn't lie, last season. Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. You want to go back in the past, do you, mate? This is a new season. You want to go back in the past? Let's go back to 2009 when you're getting dicked up 8-0 by Middlesbrough, you twat. You know what I mean? Things can change. Manchester is blue. Don't know, actually, James. Maybe, lad. All teams take risks with whom they sign. Yeah, precisely. A player could just get injured, couldn't they? When bored fraud Pep leaves, they will cry and finish lower. Precisely. Hang on, I'm a little bit behind on chat, guys. I'm just going to try and catch up a little bit here. Oh, what's that, Liddy Gamer Piggy, mate? Daniel has messaged you. What's happened? Okay, no worries. Where have you messaged me there, Daniel? Where's Daniel? I can't see his message. But where have you messaged me? And I'll check it out after the stream, mate. Nice one. All good here, Stephen Bro. Hope you're all good. Yes, Hoyland's like an odd bod from the Carry On films. Oh, my God. Which one? Odd bod or Odd Bod Jr.? You know, there's a difference there, to be fair. I've always thought of Odd Bod as the Slabby Maguire of the team. So who's going to be Odd Bod Jr.? Don't forget the 115, mate. United finally get their act together when Liverpool draw 11 on league titles. About bloody time. Yeah, that's it. Well, it is sickening. We should be having the best transfer window out of anybody after finishing 15th and missing out on Europe. We really should be having that big investment this summer. 80 million on Sesko, 80 million on Baleba, 30 million, whatever it takes to get a new top goalkeeper. Try and get Donnarumma, try and break the bank, pay him the wages to come in and be our number one. That's what we need. That would give us such a massive lift. I would actually be having a serious fizzing sensation downstairs in the old downstairs Piggy Loins mix-up department for a very long time going into the season. If we could somehow mastermind transfer acquisition for the rest of the window of Sesko, Baleba and Donnarumma. I mean, I think I would actually maybe have a mangasm if we could do that. So, you know, let's just prepare the loins, but it's very unlikely. Nice one, Battlefield 6 beta open Friday. Maybe we'll do a cheeky stream on it this weekend. Yeah, City was out here getting done up by Middlesbrough, precisely. Newcastle have Ant and Deckers fans. How many trophies did Cheaty win last season? Ooh. You have a feeling that City won't even make Champions League this year. Bit of a hot take, but they're going to be outplayed. Well, I love it, Mac. I mean, I don't share that same level of optimism as you. I hope you're right, though. But because of the signings that they have actually made, you know, they have made some good signings, haven't they, lad? Like the Reindeers and the 8 Nori. And to be fair, they got Marmouche in Jan last year. He was cooking quite well. So I know they've missed out on the likes of De Bruyne. He's gone. But I'm thinking they'll actually do a bit better this season, personally. But I hope you're right. Favourite Carry On movie? Oh, wow. Well, I do love Carry On Screaming. I think maybe Carry On at Your Convenience, the one with the toilet factory, might be my favourite one. That's a good one. Or Carry On Don't Lose Your Head, the one with the black fingernail guy. You know what I mean? That one's funny. There's some classics, mate. Carry On Camping. Oh, yeah. Brilliant. You're going to miss Europe this season? Oh, Mike, it's going to be shite, isn't it? I'm not looking forward to that either, man. A season without Europe is just wrong. It feels so wrong. Get flappy wrists out. Love that 20x's TV, yep. Maybe we could send him to a local car wash. We should be challenging for titles. Can't have Liverpool winning the Prem again. Ever since Oasis have come back, City have been shit. Love that. Long may it continue. Carry On. The Glazers is my fave. Didn't you splash the cash this time last year, amigo, and ended up 15th? Well, yes, but the problem is we had a Dutch conehead, a.k.a. Dutch Kojak impersonator, in charge of the football club. Making acquisitions for us. There was no real ideas, was there? We were just letting Ten Hag spend the money, and obviously he was shite. So that's the problem there. His ability to pluck out talents is probably about the worst I've ever seen, judged on his hit rate of players who flopped at the club. You still need to catch up on European Cups before you even close to our size. Yeah, you know, they've been checking, lad. Oh, right, what? Who are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about... Oh, yeah, to City scummers. Yeah. City have Curly Watts as a celebrity fan because City are a massive club. Burnley just bought Ugo Chukwu from Chelsea. How many players have Chelsea sold? Yeah, that's a fair point. They sold a few, haven't they? Like Madueke as well. And they've done some good business this summer. You can count the number of big clubs in the world on your hands. In the English-speaking world, there are only 2, United and Liverpool FC. I think that's fair. United and Liverpool clearly are the 2 biggest clubs from England. That's absolutely true. Why does every player we try to sign in each window turn into a saga? We shall outdo the Star Wars saga at this rate. In a galaxy far, far away. Carry On, Dick. Donnarumma would be a good sign-in. Yeah, Donnarumma would be an amazing sign-in. He'd be the best signing we could make. Never mind your Balebas and your Seskos. I feel like Donnarumma, if we could get him, he's going to have the biggest effect on how many points we can pick up in a season. I feel like he would be a big difference maker for us. A match winner. The 4 clubs are Madrid, Barca, United and Pool. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Maybe you could chuck Bayern Munchen in there. Chelsea must be in double figures of players sold. So Shima, what's going on? So Shima Samson, welcome aboard. Yeah, I got it as well. I got it in my email, actually. Yeah, I'm going to have to hop on and check it out, lad. I have got one, yeah. City will be there, top 4, unfortunately. Will there be huge pressure on Sesko up front like there was on Rasmus? Yes, there will be. We kind of are making the same mistakes. There'll be less so, though, Disco Dave, because like Mbuemo and Cunha and those sorts of guys are obviously going to be expected to be scoring quite a lot of the goals as well. If you look at their rates and their records from last season, scoring 20 and 15 goals in the league, respectively, those guys should be taking some of the goal-scoring mantle away from the strikers as well. But you do want somebody up there who, when they get the chances and the chances are created for them, can take a good amount of them. That's what you want. So, but it is kind of a similar situation to Rasmus, but he's further developed than Rasmus was. But he's not really further developed than Rasmus is. When we signed Rasmus, he was 20 from Serie A, so he was less developed than Sesko is right now at 22, coming from the Bundesliga and playing for Slovenia and all the rest of it for a long time, whatever. But Rasmus now has 2 years Premier League experience under his belt, and they're the same age. So it is a bit worrying, Disco Dave. We're just hoping that Sesko's obviously a lot better than Rasmus. We wouldn't be spending 80, 90 million if he wasn't, and I'm sure it's not that hard to be better than Rasmus, because Rasmus only got about 3 goals last year. Mangasm, that's so Man United. You can't wait for the Battlefield. Great series. Let's go, Steve, and I'll probably do a stream for it the weekend, lad. Carry on, my wayward son. It's criminal that we didn't go after Aït-Nouri. Yeah, exactly. The Red Devils world, what's going on? He says, so sorry, but guess I'm late. How sure are you on the Baleba deal? I'm 5% sure on Baleba. 5% thinking we can get it done. Guys, get your percentages in there. What? Can I do a Sid James laugh? Not really, mate, no. What's your percentage likelihood of us getting Baleba from Brighton for, I don't know, 80 to 100 million? I honestly give it 5%. I just can't really see it. Got to start from the back, need a good keeper, precisely, Urbano, That's it. Makes a difference. Think about your team, right? So when you had, what was his name? The Gashtastic Karius, Loris Karius at the football club, and you've missed out on winning Champions Leagues and all that shite. What happened? You went and you signed Alisson for big money, and that was like a very important piece of the puzzle, wasn't it, for you to actually be able to win? You need to have a top goalkeeper, really, to save those, make those epic saves in those key moments, not bottle it. And that's the difference, really. I think that's what a sort of player like maybe a Donnarumma could do for us, like Alisson did for you. 2%, 70%, 70%, wow, 30%, 20%, 0, 100%, 50-50. Man, I'd love a 50-50 chance of getting him. 25, 10%, 6.9, minus 18. Donnarumma's the one. 20%, 10%, 2%, minus 2%. Brighton CEO actually didn't rule it out. Well, I'm sure he did it. If they can get £100 million, which is a figure that they are apparently wanting right now and is being bandied around, if they can get that for him, then I'm sure they'd be frothing about selling him. 2.5%, because as we discussed, Brighton are a great run football club like that. They're always going to struggle to keep hold of the top talents, like from the top clubs, whether it's like the likes of Trossard going to Arsenal or whatever. There's always going to be teams that are coming, or João Pedro going to Chelsea and stuff. There's always going to be teams that are coming to feed off the scraps there, or not the scraps, but to get the best players off of them. But when they do sell them, they get big money for them, and then they reinvest that and recruit really well, and then the process just goes over again, Yes, Clad says a striker will hardly get a chance to score with no midfielder. If he does, Onana will let one in. Well, that's true. They need to get a new midfielder. This is why hopefully someone like Baleba could make the difference. Oh, it's facts. Think service up front will be better this season behind the striker Rasmus or Sesko or both. Don't stop Baleba in. If Newcastle decide to bid for Baleba, then 100%. Brighton is open for the right offer. Baleba wants United, I'd say about 60%, 15%. Going, she says, Bale seems unlikely, but who knows? It's been a surprising transfer season, to say the least. Oh, Baleba, yeah. I was going to say Gareth Bale would be very unlikely, don't she? But yeah, Baleba, I know you're a Welshman, but he's past it, lad. He's out on the golf course. Onana cost United like 20-plus points on his own last season. Dreadful. Yeah, precisely. That's it. Someone like a De Gea in his prime or a Donnarumma, those sorts of guys are going to win you points, not lose them throughout a season. If that player 300 or 400k, let him have it. He's that good. Yeah, precisely. If you're talking about Donnarumma, then yes, I'm with you. Hi to Max. Thank you for watching there, Paula and Wayne the Reds. Big ups to Max the Red as well. Shout out to you, little guy. Let's go there, Paula. I don't know how little he is. He might be a full-grown adult. I'm not sure, but much love to your son, Max, there. Nice one. Yes, Baleba, let's go. I believe we should avoid Baleba. We'll be wasting our time as his price is absurd for a kid that's got barely any experience. I don't know if he's only... I wouldn't say he's got barely any experience. I'd say that obviously he's got limited experience because he's 21. But actually, if we have a look at some of his information here, let's have a look at his stats from last season. He played 34 Premier League games for Brighton. 3 goals, 1 assist. He's obviously playing the midfield, the DM role, right? And then, the season before, 27 in the Prem, in the 23-24 season. Then the season before that, 19 for Lille when he's a young teenager in Ligue 1 in France. That is not bad experience, mate. 2 seasons under your belt in the Prem at 21 years of age and looking good. That is a good, proven, good start there, Yeah, he played a little for Lille too, exactly, yeah. Oh, okay, yes. Oh, no worries there, Jay. Thank you so much, Jay United lad. I will do. I'll check on Instagram, legend. You think we should target some of the Brighton recruitment team could play off loads in the future? Chelsea, 10 new in, 15 back from loans, and then 14 gone out so far. Wow, is it really, Tommy? That's mental. You think at the moment 60% would be fair. Hope they get it done in the next few weeks. Would be lovely. Hayden Hackney would be a good pickup as well. I agree, James. Shouldn't be too much money either. Put 400k a week on the table for him. He's that good. Casemiro's on that. Yeah, fair enough, Darren. I'm with you. I would do everything we can to go and get a Donnarumma-type goalkeeper for us right now. That's it. I mean, people used to complain about David De Gea being paid 300 grand a week. Goodness me, compared to Andre Onana, he's worth £1 million a week. Literally compared to Andre. Thank you, Jay. I will do, you legend. You're a Baleba. 5%, that's too poor of an assurance. I mean, reports coming from Fab states that the deal might fall out to be a difficult one. It's going to be a difficult one, mate. I think only a 5% chance. That's my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. Honestly, don't think it's very likely at all that it happens. In fact, if we just see what Fab said there, he actually says Brighton plan to keep Baleba at the club, as the price tag would be very high, seen as a difficult deal. And then Ornstein also said that this deal is very unrealistic. He said, Brighton do not plan to sell this summer, and all sides are aware the move may be unrealistic. So I'm not holding my breath on it, but I think it shows good intentions from us anyway, that we are looking to bring in other positions to strengthen those positions. Hello from Ireland there, Patrick O'Brien. What's going on, you legend? I'm doing all right. How have you been? Let's go. We should have had that scouts from Brighton. They seem to know the talent. Yeah, that's true. No worries, Jay United. No worries, lad. No worries. Are you looking forward to the Arsenal match? I am actually, Mark, and also nervous about it, but I think we've got a good chance, just as good a chance as them as winning the game. We're at home. We'll have hopefully a new team of players. Nobody's really got themselves together by the first game. It's kind of like who's going to turn up on the day and play best. If all the lads turn up and take the chances, we can beat them. They're not going to be any sort of form, really, going into the new season. His stats are ridiculous, one of the best in Europe. Yeah, your son's an Arsenal fan. That's gash, isn't it, James? Oh, no. We are still trying to get Sesko, let alone trying to buy Baleba. That deal has not yet been sealed. True links red. Can we chain De Gea on the goalpost on Saturday after the game? Oh, I'd love it. I really hope Amorim just calls him into the office after the game, mate, and tries to get him signed back up. If we sign Baleba as well, outrage from rival fans will be funny. Yeah, that'd be amazing. I mean, imagine that, Jack. Imagine we have a transfer window where we finish 15th. We've got no European football, and we end up getting Mbeumo, Cunha, Sesko, Baleba, and let's say Donnarumma for good measure. You know what I mean? That would just have the envy of the footballing world, wouldn't it? We're still able to outmaneuver all these teams like Newcastle have Europe. Onana cost us the entire last season. Yeah, he did. He was gash, lad. Gianluigi Donnarumma signed a contract with Man United in 26. Love it. What's the experience nonsense? How much did Caicedo have before Chelsea? You either had the talent or not? Fair point there, Dino. Yes. Well, he was playing for the Ecuador national team, wasn't he, Dino? Because he's French, he's good. Who's French? Sorry, who's French, mate? It's that's as good in the Prem. Should I disown my daughter if she's a Liverpool fan? That's probably a strong idea, G-Wolf. Rodrigo's amazing player at 19. Adam Wharton, would he actually be that much cheaper than Baleba, though? I've heard that they would be looking for about 80 million for Wharton as well. Nice one, Piggy's a grown adult. Oh, okay, nice one. Well, shout out Paula, Wayne and Max there, legends. Surprised no one trying to get Tyler Dibbling from Southampton. Hang on, I thought there was some bids going in for Tyler Dibbling yesterday. Who was it? Someone was after him, weren't they? Mike says, thank you for your super chat, Mike. He says, I know which midfielder we will get this season from a very good source, a Korean lad called Fu Kan No Wan. Oh. Amorim has only spent half of Warrington Harding and got proper talent in. Just shows when you appoint someone that actually knows what they're doing. So true. I do think that Amorim's acquisitions so far are just so much better and more proven so far, at least, than, what Ten Hag did. Okay, there is a bit of an element of a risk on Sesko, but these sorts of other acquisitions we're looking to make, potentially Baleba, but Kunin and Mbeumo, they're exactly the sort of signings we need right now. I don't know about that, Gregory lad. You don't believe it. Can you tell me, if you were the Man United manager, what players you would sign and what your squad would look like in your starting 11? I mean, that sounds like a basis for a whole video there, James. But if it was down to me, you know, I'd definitely sign Donnarumma this season. I'd definitely sign probably a proven Premier League striker like Visser or Watkins. You know, honestly, that's my take on it. That's who I would get this summer, to be fair, who's realistic. I would try and get Baleba, because surely you'd have more money left over if you weren't getting Sesko and you were getting someone like Visser or something instead. Just for the short term. Now, I'm not talking about long term. Obviously, Sesko in 3 years could be better options than those guys. But right now, what we need is to get up the table. So I would probably just get a Premier League proven striker. I'd definitely get Baleba if we could. And then beyond that, you know, I do still think that we need a wing back, someone like a Denzel Dumfries. I'd get Denzel Dumfries, play right wing back for us. I'd also maybe, if we could, but Donnarumma would be the signing, mate. He would be the one. And my starting 11, well, at the moment, you know, it would be Donnarumma in goals. Look, we haven't obviously got the money really, I guess, to sign defenders as well. But so I'd probably say something like Yoro, De Ligt, and Mazrui, I guess, maybe is, or Euro, De Ligt and the Butcher, or some shit like that. Then you've got to have, at the moment, you'd have to have Bruno Fernandes and also probably Mainu. I would go for actually right now. Give Mainu the opportunity to play the 6 based on who we've got, because I don't really like Ugarte or Casemiro for that role in Amorim's system. So I'll probably say that. But obviously Baleba, so it'd be Bruno and Baleba in the midfield. Bruno and Baleba. Then we'd have currently Ahmad playing right wing back, but ideally Denzel Dumfries as well would be added to the side. Left wing back's going to be Dorgu, isn't it? The 2 cams, left-sided cam, left-sided number 10, Mateus Cunha, right-sided number 10, Brian Mbeumo. Number 9, that's where Watkins or Visser or someone like that would play. So that'd sort of be my looking lineup going into the season. And it would be a team designed to get us from 15th place to 5th place, or 15th place to 6th place. Not really a team designed to try and compete for the title, but a team designed to be proven to do well in the Premier League. Sesko versus Gyökeres coming up, down with the Arsenal Hollands. Yeah, that's going to be a meaty day. Wow, what's going to happen there? It's going to be so interesting to see what happens there, to see if Gyökeres smashes a hat-trick against us, or if Sesko smashes a hat-trick against them, or if Gyökeres flops. Yeah, Wharton 70 to 100 million as well. Yeah, Everton. Wharton would be roughly same price. Yeah, Tyler Dibbling seems like a Spurs signing to me. Yeah, it was Everton who wanted Dibbling, was it? Everton also interested in Jack Grealish, aren't they? Baleba bomber incoming, I hope you're right. Nice, James. Have a good time, lad. That'd be awesome. Everton got Dewsbury Hall today. Yeah, Everton are looking to do some business as well, aren't they? Ten Hag won 2 trophies in 2 seasons. That's true, free to drive. That's true, yes, but he also left us in an absolutely hideous state and signed the shittest players we've known. I mean, I would imagine that, you know, a Magikarp could win 2 trophies in 2 years, spending 600 million quid. Fuck me. Southampton turned down Everton's bid. Cheers, Piggy. You and Mrs. Pig have a great night. Thank you, you two, Porter and Wayne and Max. If proven Premier League players like Cunha and Mbeumo don't work, then it's probably time for us to stop watching this sport, honestly. Niche fan says the 1958 protests are going to go into another dimension if we get Baleba. You want the staff rehired. I know, it is a joke, mate, how they're able to do that. Making all these cuts and scrimping everywhere and sacking people off and withholding bonuses and all the rest of the shithousery that they've done. Moving on season ticket holders out of the seats they've had for years and years to make room for extra money hospitality tickets and all the rest of that guff that they've done. You know, and then to just turn around and be looking at building a £2 billion stadium and signing hundreds of millions of pounds worth of players. It is a joke, lad. Yeah, only joking, can't disown her, but wish I could trade it for a newer model. What? I thought you were talking about your daughter, G-Wolf. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, were you talking about your wife? That's an expression reserved for talking about your wife, mate. Trade her in for a newer model, mate. You know what I mean? You what? Amorim built Joker so he can do the same. Yes, he has built Gyökeres up from a relative melt bag. You're right. Fab's a Watford fan. Oh, counting screws. Yeah, you remember the day of Cantona for 1 minute where those would come back. Cast legs are jelly now. They've turned into Andre Onana's hands, haven't they? Oh, man. Not to defend them as such, but it's because of the cuts that we can spend. No, it's not, Dino. They saved like 53 million in a total. Okay, but what's that paying for? Sesko's left bollock, mate. You know what I mean? It's a drop in the ocean. Imagine if they'd have just got rid of a twat like Mason Mount, or a mug like Andre Onana, or a melt stick like Garnacho, or a bottle bag like Sancho, or a complete fucking egomaniacal little melter like Rashford, which they have done on loan. But imagine if they actually just got them gone permanently. They could sign $1 million, Doris the Tea Ladies, on a big £15 an hour contract. Yeah? If they, if they sold just one of these players. So I don't really buy all that guff, to be honest. There's other ways. They were scrimping in the wrong places, if you ask me. Denzel Dumfries, good shout. I mean, there is that old expression, if you take care of the pennies, the pounds will take care of themselves. But if you take care of the pounds, then I don't have any more to this, but you know what I'm trying to say. Daily Express, early morning print exclusive saying the deal is agreed for Sesko. Let's fucking be having you there, Tommy lad. I think it is as well. I am a believer, you know, Sheikh Hadi, I am. Fab tweet. Oh, we've got a fab tweet. Oh, ES Clan, thank you, everyone. Let's go and have a look at the latest fab tweet together. Wait a second, I'll get it up on the screen. We got a fab tweet, guys. Let's see what you guys are talking about here. I'll go check it out, pop it up on screen as well. Fabrizio Romano. Consigliere Fabrizio with a cheeky little Baleba post. Okay, here it is. Let me get this up on the screen. So, I'll just hang on a sec. I've got to screenshot it and then send it over. But just to read out what it's actually saying first before I popped it up on the screen, it just says Carlos Baleba did not close the doors to Man United after direct contact with his camp. Manchester United believe agreeing terms with Baleba terms won't be an issue, but club-to-club deal considered very difficult. Brighton want to keep Baleba this summer and won't make it easy. Oh, matron. You know, that's interesting, isn't it? So it does seem like United seriously do have some strong interest in him. And this guy obviously maybe has some strong interest in playing for Manchester United as well. It would be a fantastic opportunity for him, wouldn't it? Let me pop this up on the screen real quick, guys. Give me a second. But that is a new post there by Fab. That's a good one. Thanks for letting us know. Once again, everyone, if you're just joining the stream, remember to smash that like button. It helps the channel out massively. Also, subscribe. That also helps the channel out. It's free to subscribe. Get involved. We're on here daily and nightly with the latest Man United news. You know it makes sense. Okay, right. Let's have a look. So this is from Fab 4 minutes ago. It says, Carlos Baleba didn't close doors to Manchester United after direct contact with his camp. So it seems like he's interested. United believe agreeing terms with the Baleba terms won't be an issue, but club-to-club deal considered very difficult. Brighton want to keep Baleba this summer and won't make it easy. So more of the same, really, but potentially we are looking to get that deal worked out, you know? Maybe we could be going back in there and having some strong discussions there with Brighton about this signing. Maybe not to buy him outright with 80 million or 90 million or 100 million up front, but maybe they would be prepared to do a deal over a few years like we've done with Brentford or Wolves. Let's go there, Luan. Just in time to hear you trash Rashford. Well, you know, he has been a bit of a knob for us, hasn't he? Last season he wasn't tracking back. He wasn't trying, and he was getting paid the most in the club. So, yeah, Sesko will be a very good striker. I think so. You know, we don't know so, but I think so. I hope so, but we don't know so. It is still a bit of a risk, but he's still young and has great stats for someone of his age. All it takes is Baleba to come out and say he wants the United move, and it's on like Donkey Kong. Well said, lad. Well said. Do you wish that Ten Hag could sign a good goalkeeper instead of Andre? I don't actually, James. I just wish that Dutch conehead Melt just fucked off back to the Netherlands before he had the chance of letting De Gea go. You know, and we should still have De Gea right now, bro. You know, so I wouldn't have even replaced De Gea. I'd have just kept De Gea, given him the contract that he deserved. He deserved. Look at how good he was for Fiorentina last season. He deserved a big contract at United. He really did. Yeah, Pig, on a serious note, if you could only buy one, which would it be? Goalie or midfielder? Ooh. Goalie. Yeah, would be the goalie. Because that has the potential. If we got a top goalie like a Donnarumma, it has the potential to save you 15 to 20 points a season in itself. A midfielder would be very much of importance because we seem to be light there and we can get overrun. So that's important too, but I feel like the goalie would maybe have a bigger impact. Yeah, chat shit. The bed for me, lagging over here. James says, how much money do you make from YouTube? It varies wildly, mate, from month to month or stream to stream. It depends on, You know, like how many people's watching, who super chats, whatever, fucking all that sort of shite. But, you know, we're getting by, lad. We're getting by. Shouldn't have sold Dean Henderson, Pigmate. He's another one as well. That's it. Ten Hag was such a mug. We had 2 first-team choice goalkeepers that both would have been a better option than Andre Onana, and he's let them go for peanuts, and he's gone and signed us Andre Onana for 50 mil. That's how much of a massive melt bag Erik Ten Hag was. Yeah, and Alvaro Fernandez as well. Alvaro Fernandez was let go for peanuts, and he's just signed for Real Madrid for 50 mil and is going to have a big future in the game. That Ten Hag was the worst identifier of talent I've ever seen. Crikey. Right, let's read 1 or 2 more comments out there, guys, then we'll wrap up this evening's stream. It's getting almost at midnight here, but shout out to you, legends. Let me see if there's any other updates from the likes of Fab or Ornstein or anyone else we've got on the old list here, to see if there's anything else about the likes of any of these players we're linked with. Well, actually, Ben Jacobs from 3 minutes ago has updated in regards to the Wilfred Ndidi situation. We were talking about Wilfred Ndidi because obviously there was a very cheap release clause on his contract there at Leicester. And Ben Jacobs says 3 minutes ago, Wilfred Ndidi will undergo his Besiktas medical on Thursday. €9.5 million offer accepted by Leicester. So, you know, he would have been a cheap option. Definitely not as good as an option as someone like Baleba, who's got such a future ahead of him. But, crikey, I mean, he seems a cheap pickup to me. Yeah, very cheap pickup. There's not too much more going on here. I mean, actually, Gianluca Di Marzio just reporting something here on Højlund. Let me just translate that from Italian. He says, what does that say? Why is there's usually a C translation little button there, but it's not popping up. I want a C translation. Hang on, let me click on the website here and then translate that. English. Okay, this is what it says. United could be open to a loan deal if Sesko arrives for Højlund to Milan. The latest on AC Milan transfer market. Okay, so he's just saying that AC Milan are now interested in a Højlund loan. Brilliant. Right, okay, let's read 1 or 2 more out, guys, then we're going to have to wrap this stream up, but you're a set of legends. How you doing, the Cake Cadet? Yes, mate. What's going on? How you doing tonight, lad? Come on, we're just about to wrap up, but great to see you. Investigate 10 fraud for money laundering. Nick Pope and Kovar, well, they would be good options, better than the likes of Shithouse Andre. You cannot believe how we sold Alvaro when he literally had no fit left back. I know that was ridiculous, mate. One of the most insane things I've seen. Ten Hag didn't play Ahmad either. I know the guy was awful. He thought it was better to play Anthony Dos Santos with his peg leg. Ten Hag bought Mount and gave him the number 7. Yeah, Ten Hag's got to be the worst identifier of talents in the world ever. He's right up there. Yeah. Are you looking forward to FC26? G-Will says, Cakey, how you liking our 200 million war chest? Hey, he's got you there, Cake. You know what I mean? Remember when G-Wolf a couple of weeks back said that, you know, we're going to have a couple hundred million to spend, and you were mocking him, saying that's ridiculous. Well, seems like you're the mug now. You wouldn't learn or sell Højlund what happens when Sesko's injured. Yeah, you know it. Facts. Let's go, Stephanie Griffith. Villa reach agreement 26 million plus 4.3 million in add-ons for ODC Nice striker Evan Gressand. Could we still get Watkins? That's very interesting, isn't it, Tommy? Thanks for the update there, yeah. Well, I guess we could if this deal was to fall through with Sesko. I can't see we're still getting both, but thank you, Paul of the Red. You have a great night as well. Do you think Erik Ten Hag should have signed the whole Ajax squad that reached the Champions League semi-final? I mean, a few of them, definitely. So who was those players in that team? You had, like, De Jong was in that team, wasn't he? De Ligt? De Vries, maybe? De Vries? I don't know. Have to trust Amorim. He seems intent on what he wants. No other matters. Ten Hag played Mazraoui at 10 while he had Ahmad sat on the bench. Ten Hag was truly a gash bag. Pig is brilliant. He was like interested in Højlund. Great. Oh, I know. Well, G-Wolf, I can't believe it, mate. Watkins still available, or have we missed a bargain? Yeah, happy you was wrong. Exactly, that's it. Really, it's a good. It's good that we're hopefully going for other players. And to be fair, we haven't done it yet. But if we buy Sesko, that takes our spending to over 200 million in itself. And if we buy Baleba, that takes it to nearly 300 million. Yeah, you told everyone there was levers too. Ten Hag sold Elanga, Alvaro, De Gea, Anderson, and got fidget spinner Anthony and Molasses. Yeah, true. And Mount. Yeah. 28 away from 300 likes. Thank you, everyone who's hit the likes. Keep hitting the likes. Nice one. I'll just read a bunch of these comments out, then we're going to end. Al Nasir has shown interest in Mason Greenwood. Oh, yeah, well, he should go over there, really. He could get a great money deal there. I'm sure it's not that different to playing in the French Farmers League, is it, really? Please, God, let United bring Ollie back if Ollie smashed the Turkish League. Fair enough, he is doing well. Show the masses what we've come up with. Oh, okay. What do you mean we? What do you mean what we've come up with, mate? I didn't have the heart to tell you, but I prefer my design, mate. I mean, I do. What do you mean we? Okay, fair enough. So this was from a cheeky idea that I had, okay? Let's just be clear about that, Kate Cadet. I was thinking about doing a Sesko t-shirt, guys, if we get him. A Sesko t-shirt, there it is. Sesko, every goal helps. What do you reckon of that, my friends? Kate Cadet made an alteration of it. He made an alteration of it. And I do like it, but also it's limiting. It's limiting. This is Kate Cadet's variation of it. I sent him this and said, what do you reckon of this, mate? And then he sent me this back and said this. And he's replaced the O. He's replaced the O with my badge. Which, okay, I see what you're trying to do there. But no, mate. That doesn't work. That no longer resembles the Tesco badge, mate. Do you know what I mean? So it's a no from me. What's that on your phone there, lad? Notification to Grindr? No. And then also, I'm going to put this on a t-shirt too. You know, because I'd like to. It's Kate Cadet being fed a Fray Bentos pie there by Luke Shaw. And fucking loving it. Now that is a t-shirt, my son. Oh, brilliant. Looks cool. Yeah. I know. Yeah, hey, you have a good one, Tommy Boyle. Thanks for getting in. Big ups to the mod squad. Jonathan Gallagher, too, getting in there raw. 10 hours is the type of guy to eat melted butter. I really like mine more, mate. Yeah, sorry, but you'd buy it. Nice. No, I do like mine more, Kate Cadet. What's better, guys? The regular Sesko Tesco t-shirt or the one with the Flying Pig badge on it as the O? Tell me your thoughts, but I honestly don't think that your one's good, mate. Sorry. I prefer the look of the clean, you know, this one here, mate. This one. I prefer that. That's more in keeping with the actual, you know, that's more in keeping with it, mate, you know. By the way, check this out. I've been using AI for some fun stuff. Regular, yeah, Gungshi knows. The regular one's better. You can't have that shitty badge on it there, Kate Cadet, lad. You know what I mean? It's my YouTube badge. It looks gash. Regular, yeah, it's option 1, of course. Kate Cadet, you're an amateur lad. He says you got to get your logo in there. Oh, what? And limit the sales of those t-shirts to only people in this community who want to wear a fucking Man United badge on the thing, mate. Or my channel badge, I mean, not even a Man United badge. I don't know about that one, Cake. You know, it seems a bit limiting to me, mate. That's a wizard shirt, thank you. Hey, you want to see something else cool, by the way? Let me show you this. I've also been working on... So there's a little... you know how me and Mrs. P have this little thing where we call each other Sheen and Baz? Yeah, you know that, guys. For some unknown reason, we call each other Sheen and Baz, don't we? Wait a second. Oh, I don't know if I've got it here, guys, actually. Oh, I don't have it to hand. Never mind. I'll show you it another time, but it's just... Oh, actually, wait a sec. No, I don't have it, guys. I don't think I have it, actually, on this computer. Never mind. Oh, okay. Right, anyway, bollocks to this. Let's get back in the live chat for a minute. It's just some cool thing I made. Don't worry about it. Fine, nice one, Kate Cadet. But yeah, I might make that Sesko t-shirt there, mate. If we sign him, I might, you know, we'll let you know. Tesco 1. Great. Anyway, listen, guys, we're going to wrap it up. It looks like United are signing Sesko. Hopefully tomorrow we'll get here. We go from Faber and Ornstein Bomber. Let's go. Let's go. Gary Jones there. Thought you'd never catch up, but United never fails. I know, Gary, mate. Well, can we get these deals done? That's the question. It looks good at the moment. Sell the badges sold separately. Extra revenue. Barry Sheen Motorbikes. That's it, Stephanie. That's what it's from. You rename it saying Sesko, the Slovenian striker, on the hunt to score goals. Okay, nice one. Oh, thank you, Luan. You've sent me something on X. All right, then. Luan France, thank you for sending me a picture on X here. Let's see what it is. Oh, Luan, you can't send me that. I'm a taken man. Oh, my God. What have you sent me? I'm joking. She hasn't sent me anything dodgy. She says, walking through Union Station, can't have been over there in Canada. That's fucking awesome. Anyway, nice one, Luan. Right, Let's show it. She didn't send me anything bad. I'm joking. Right, listen, guys, we're going to wrap up this stream here. We've been on here a while, but thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. You're a set of legends. Have a great night, all. Rob Always United, Lord Rodney, the Cake Cadet, Josh Lee, Paula the Red, Links Red, Stephen, Jonathan, Good Grief Sharif, Gregory, Stephanie, Luann. Let's go, Luann. Lord Rodney, Stephen, all the moderator legends, people like Don Gungshilione. Oh, Gungshilione. Big ups Mikhail Kramer as well, getting their raw all night as well. Kate Cadet, Jonathan Gallagher. Big ups to members in green like ES Clan. Thanks for becoming a member, lad. Stephen Shipman, Lord Rodney Trotter, J United, Stephen. I want to say thank you to the super chatters there. Mike Hill and some melt called Manchester is Blue as well. Thank you very much for your super chats, guys. Nice one. The Mustard as well, lad. Yes, the Mustard. Get in there. Have a great one, you Mr. Mustard legend. Nice one. Pranay, Paul, Robert, Wayne, Disco, Larry, Mikhail, James Butcher, Gungshi, you Don, Good Grief Sharif, Ryan Martin. Yes, Ryan, have a good one, you Don. Links Red, Gary Jones, Luann, Jay, Lord Rodney, Paula the Mustard. Anyway, oh, you've missed it, but you know, better late than never, the Mustard. Give it a watch back, lad. Gaz Wads as well, all the heroes of the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. You're a set of legends. Have a great night. You can come back after this vid's finished and get your thoughts and opinions in. Haroli as well, you legend. Have a great night, Haroli. Yes, lad. James, Lord Rodney, Minoda. Yes, Minoda. Good to see you also. Have a good one. Disco Dave, Stephen, Kate Cadet, and everyone. Legends. Right, guys, come back after. Have your say on anything we've discussed. How realistic do you think Baleba is? Hopefully Sesko Day tomorrow. We'll keep you up to date with what's going on. So make sure you subscribe. Click the bell icon for notifications so you don't miss a stream. Also, you can follow us in the links in the description there at Flying Pig United on all platforms. Give us a follow. Thanks, Mr. Miggs. Thanks, Nikki, Robert, and everybody else as well. You're a set of legends. Have a great night. And remember, Piggy loves you. And also remember, United finally looking like we're maybe going to do some bits this summer. Let's be having you. More of the same, please. And also remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much. Get in there, you beauties. Thank you so much to all the patrons here for supporting the channel on patreon.com/FlyingPigUnited. As a thank you, all you legends will be appearing on this outro list. Get in there. Once again, thank you to all the YouTube members, but one of the best ways you can support the channel is on patreon.com. So check it out. Patreon.com/FlyingPigUnited. And once again, a big thank you to all the legends that do support the channel on Patreon. Get in there.